This is a 2-page layout called Banners and Borders, and it's from our sketch booklet from Croptoberfest 2021, using 2021 Croptoberfest paper, which is absolutely adorable, and you'll love it. You probably want to buy a couple of kits. So to do this layout, you need a sheet of solid cardstock, 2 light-colored sheets for your background, 3 sheets of designer double-sided paper, and your 12-inch trimmer, tape runner, scissors, and a ruler for measuring. So taking first your cardstock that you've decided to use for your 6 photo squares here. We've also used on here a border. This is the pumpkin vine, but we'll be using the sunflower. You're going to take your first sheet of cardstock, and we're going to cut it into 3.5 by 3.5 inch squares. Finding 3.5 inch mark, and then I'm going to cut another strip, 3.5, and then I'll stack them and save this piece for your borders. And this cardstock is beautiful as well. This is from Creative Memories also. So I've stacked my 2 sheets, and I've got 2 3.5, another 2, and I'm going to have a little bit of leftover, and another 3.5. And then I have this little bit that's left over for another project. So I have the squares all set. Now I'm going to cut the strip that is going along the top. So I'm taking that leftover paper that I had, and this is going to be 3.25 by 12 inches. So it's already 12 inches, I just need to measure 3.25. One strip. Oops, it's moving. That didn't quite make it. It moved on me. So 3.25 by 12. There we go. Okay, and put this aside. You can use that for your border. So put that aside with our squares. Now taking out your designer paper, 3 sheets of, you take your 3 12 by 12, stack them on top of each other. They're 3 different ones, so you'll get different banners. And you're going to cut this at 4 inches to make 3 4-inch strips. 4 by 12 right now. All right, now taking those, didn't quite go through. So I have 3. Now I'm going to stack them again and turn them and cut at 6 inches. Open my arm up. So finding the 6-inch mark, make sure they're stacked evenly. Mine was a little bit off on that one. At about 2 inches, about 2 inches down this way, and about 1 inch this way. So find about 1 inch and head towards the 2-inch mark. And you have the banners. Alright, so I have my banners and borders arranged in a way that I think I would like them on my page. I haven't tacked them down quite yet. Now the 2 strips that you had cut earlier, we're going to lay underneath the top ribbons, and then taking the 3.5 square photo mounts, we're matching them right up to the edge. Now in this sample I used contrasting. I had dark and light. You may want to do that also. Use dark green instead of your leftover. But for now we're going to use this gold. I'm going to use this gold and I'm going to match those right up to the tippity top. Then using a piece of scrap from the pumpkin paper, I've cut a strip 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch, 2 of those to go on top of those strips, just to add a little bit more contrast. Let's cut out our pumpkin or our sunflowers, whichever you have for a punch. So this is the sunflower punch from Creative Memories. It's a border punch. These border punches are really awesome. They just are so easy to use. And the way I'm going to use it, I find the 2 little marks that are at the very front of the punch, and I'm going to line my cardstock in right with those, right with that first line to get my very first cut. Now I'm going to move it along, and you'll see what comes out is that adorable little pattern. I'm going to lay that pattern on top of this blue pattern guideline that's been afforded me right there. I'm laying it right there and making sure this is up to the edge. And now when I punch again, I will get another perfect sunflower. Move it along, match it over the blue. This is a 12-inch strip of cardstock so that I can use it as a border on my, going across the whole page. But you could see how wonderful this would be for cards also. And the very last one, I'm making sure that's in there carefully. You don't want to use cardstock that's too thick. This is actually just the perfect weight for this. Oops, I got a lot of little crumbs. Just move those out of the way. And there's one border. Now that looks adorable like that, just like that. But if you'd like it to pop a little bit, like these do on this, I've simply cut another dark green color in behind and positioned my border on top of the identical darker strip underneath to have it show some dimension there. You could also use puff squares if you wanted to. That would look great also, but you can see how using that on a dark background will help it pop a little bit. So there you have it. Borders, banners and borders, and the most wonderful sunflower punch. Have fun with it.